Ever since the New Orleans Saints Hall of Fame quarterback Drew Brees retired, they haven't been able to get back to the playoffs and contend in the NFC. They have been an average team that tries to be competitive, but ends up just being good enough to not have a top pick in the draft and bad enough to not make it to the postseason. Once Drew Brees left, they have been going through a quarterback carousel where they have had a different starting quarterback each year with QBs like Jameis Winston, Trevor Siemian, and Andy Dalton trying to replace Brees, but ultimately didn't succeed. They will finally have some continuity with them having Derek Carr back as a starter, and yet it still keeps them in the same position as a mediocre team. Carr has put up some good numbers with his former team, the Las Vegas Raiders, where he was a good game manager that can make timely plays. Once he went to New Orleans, he didn't look like the same player he once was because even though he had a similar stat line as his time with the Raiders, he still struggled to throw the ball downfield. Instead, he got many of his yards from checkdowns and short passes, where his receivers created a lot of yards after the catch. They did manage to win 9 games, although they had an easier schedule than most teams, with them playing the 2-win Panthers twice, the Patriots who only won 4 games, and the Giants who only won 6 games. Not to take anything away from the Saints, because they have a talented group of guys on their team that gives them a chance to win games, like running back Alvin Kamara, safety Tyrann Mathieu, offensive tackle Ryan Ramczyk, and linebacker Demario Davis. The Saints have been too ambitious in trying to be a team that has a shot to make the playoffs, from it backfiring and causing them to just be average. Rather than going to a rebuild after Drew Brees left the Saints, it has been hard for New Orleans to accept the fact that they should just start fresh and try to build a team through the draft. I don't know why they thought it would be easy for them to replace Drew Brees because he was once one of the best QBs in the league and had many astonishing seasons with the Saints. He even helped lead them to the Super Bowl where they defeated the Indianapolis Colts and probably should have won at least one more championship, but a lot of unfortunate events caused them to have heartbreaking losses in the playoffs. Nonetheless, Brees was a one-on-one talent that showed people that he was an elite quarterback for a reason. I know the Saints were in a strange situation when Drew Brees retired since they still had a skilled roster and didn't want to waste their opportunity to win. However, it doesn't make up for them not getting a good enough quarterback to take them to a level of contention. They didn't change their roster that much this offseason either, but instead they kept their team the same as last season, which emphasizes my point of how they are delusional in thinking that they would get different results by going to a new season with the same roster. I would understand if they had a young quarterback who is still reaching his potential, but they still have Derek Carr as their QB, and he has already reached his prime and will probably have a decline in his play this season. The Saints won't be able to turn their franchise around unless they move on from signing good but not great quarterbacks. Past years have shown that their strategy hasn't been able to get them into the playoffs, so while other teams start to improve and progress, they will continue to reside in mediocrity until they make a significant change.